There we go. Recording is
Hey,
Dr. Wellington, it's all yours.
great. Good afternoon now. Just switched over to afternoon, so good afternoon to everyone. My name is Dr. Eric Wellington. Go by Eric, or Hey Baldy. Some of the students call me. That's perfectly fine. I have a good sense of humor about that. I'd like to welcome you all virtually to Neumann University and the School of Business. I'm really proud of what we have here at Neumann University, and I know you're going to take a look at a lot of colleges and that, and that's why I wanted to drive in today. Even though campus is closed, I got security to let me in to open up the computer lab and get everything done. Didn't want to do it from the dining room at home. I wanted to show you some of the lab and some of the things we do. Today I'm going to briefly talk about the School of Business, because you don't see a talking head, and I really want to talk about answering questions up there. And Dr. DiPaolo is coming in. He's coming down to say hi, so that's great. So I just want to talk about the School of Business. And the School of Business, you've been to our website. You've probably seen a myriad of things. We have accounting, we have business, a myriad of programs in business. Dr. Paul, you want to jump in and say hey?
Hello, all my prospective business students, hello.
So yeah, we're shooting live again from the Cybersecurity and Data Analytics Lab, and I'm going to be taking this camera around and walking around and showing you some of the neat things that we do. This lab is actually, you'll sit in this lab. You'll see the stock ticker behind us. Don't notice the negative scores on that. That's eventually going to come back up. I thought about bringing that up, but it's a live thing that scrolls around the entire room. We have video labs that go through, and all of our business majors, anybody in the School of Business is going to come here. So we have accounting, we have business, and focuses on HR. You're going to take we have a general business degree that everybody falls into. And then if you're a business major, you have to pick a track. The track, or a minor as it were, HR, international business, finance. You can do a minor in cybersecurity. We'll work with you on that. That's all. Take a core of courses that every business course has to take in a generalized business, and then you have a focus on what your degree will be. And we'll help you with that. So generally when you come in, you can announce your major if you want to, but if you're just generally start off with business, we'll get you in the path. In accounting, we have a focus on forensics accounting. Forensics accounting is a place we go because it's a neat niche market. We have a 4+1 in that. We have a general accounting degree, but we also focus on an audit and forensics accounting. So that's our focus in accounting here. We also offer our general accounting business. One of our popular programs as well is sport management and sport business. We have so many arrangements with all the professional sports teams in the Philadelphia area, and I would say that's Neumann's niche. If you're going to work in the Philadelphia area, we have a big partnership with the Philadelphia Union that does a lot of work with us. We do internships down there. If you go to our website, you'll see some really neat stories about students that have gone through our program and are now working at the Eagles, working at a myriad of locations, and we have partnerships with all of them. We interestingly have a mandate of 2 internships in the business school, so we're going to make you go out and work and find internships, because that's really what we found to help students get a job. Students and parents are always working. What are our placement rates? This past year, we're right around 87% of placement rates because we just got done with that. The interesting point of that is that those are students that have gone through our program, and at the end, they're either going to grad school or have employment, and that's great. We also are continually always working on 100%. So we continue to work on that way, but 87% of placement are right after graduates is a fantastic number. It's relatively high. That's the advantage of being in a small school. We really try to, I don't want to say limit enrollment. We will invite anybody to go through, but we try to keep it small because it's easier for me with 25 to 30 majors a year to work with them and place them in a job. At the end of it, Dr. DiPaolo and I did a lot of phone calls to the seniors and picked up the phone call just to see how they were doing about a year out. How are they doing? How are they going back? If they were having problems, we worked with their career center to help them get jobs. But a lot of the students don't mind the contact. As a dean, Dr. DiPaolo said this very eloquently before this started. At many universities, and I've worked at a lot of them, you don't have that personal connection with the dean. You're going to get to know me. You get to see me here. Students come into the office an awful lot. You won't be able to see this, but I am a Browns fan. Dr. DiPaolo is rolling his eyes because he says, really, that's not a selling point? Well, as a dean of business, it is a selling point. You know why? Because the clothing's always on sale. I mean, that's frugal as a business. You always get Browns clothing, relatively inexpensive. But students will walk in on Monday morning, make fun of me when the Browns lose, which often happens. And they're a lot of fun. So we meet students, I talk to them individually. I get to know them individually. Due to this coronavirus, I've actually talked to a lot of the students and just picked up the phone, called them at home and see what's going on. So in a nutshell, that's basically what we have at our vision. We have our business degree, we have accounting degrees, we have sport management degrees, and you've seen that on the website. And then our focus last year, we opened up more of a technology base. So we used to have our just general education and computer science degree, which was great, but we focused on 2 areas that employment is just rising, and that's data science and analytics. basically being able to dive into data, bring data out and make decisions about it. So we teach students how to do that. And a real popular degree is cybersecurity. And we got a question here from Teddy. Teddy, it's a great question. Is it possible to do sport management with data analytics? Absolutely. In fact, our sport management courses too, one of our main courses in it is using data to make decisions for sports. So that is a perfect example of, yes, it's possible to do both. If you choose to do both, if you're going to do a dual major, you meet with your advisor beforehand and we tailor that. The good news is the core is the core. No matter what degree, you have to take a basic core. And then you can spawn off into those specials. So Teddy, I hope that answers your question. How long is the cybersecurity program? Cybersecurity program is a 4-year bachelor's degree. So you can go through that program through 4 years or accelerate it if you choose to do so and take courses in the summer. But most of the courses that I'm talking about today are 4 years. So Katie, that was a really good question. So again, fire questions away. I will be happy to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I will be happy to turn it over to Kelly, who probably knows a lot more about it than I do.
Yeah, and for those of you that are asking questions, go ahead and use the chat function since we are in a meeting and not a webinar anymore. So use that chat box and we'll answer as we go.
And feel free to text me privately as Teddy did, or you can feel free to ask the question of the entire group. In fact, I'm going to suggest you do it to the entire group because chances are if you have a question, everybody else may have that same question. So I'm happy to answer them privately and type them off. And I'm happy to stay on after this as long as you want to, and we can do a video chat back and forth, or I'll give you a cell phone that you can call me on and we can go through and do it. One of the things I do on the show, go ahead, Kelly.
I was gonna say, at the end, I will share my screen and it'll have Eric's information and my information as well. So, you know, if you want to contact us separately, go share that at the end.
Push this button for me. All right, so right now, I'm gonna show some of the data lab. You're gonna hit right there, that little up button. There we go. Press it. All right, so right now the data lab, you'll see these are just a little lab. This is my baby. We designed it. It's gonna get loud. All these computers are actually in-based in the systems. They're coming up right now out of a touch of a button. This data security lab is for every single student. Business students, accounting students, our finance students come in here. So all these computers are coming up at a touch of the button. Students can control them. And right at the top of this, excuse the camera, there's a video cam that I just bought up that we do international business all over the world. So we bring up that video cam and we can bring up people all over the country and do a little virtual tour. Forgive my camera work. Here's where we are. This is our data lab and data wall. As you'll see, our stock exchange ticker, it's right above that. It goes around the entire room. Our visual wall, our students could actually get in control of this. So if our finance lab wanted to look at specific finances and have your own stock portfolio up there, people in finance can take a look at that. That video wall will broadcast specifically for the class. As Dr. DePaulo sits in the back, he can control the entire thing and tell you how stocks are going. Dr. DePaulo doesn't know how to work it, so please don't touch and break that. So above, you see the stock ticker tab. Again, don't worry about it. Actually, some of it's in green this morning. It's very nice to see. Stock market was up this morning around 400 points. It's around 402.67. So that's where we're sitting at right now. And again, we have the availability to turn those on for anything. On the back, you'll see video screens that we have. Students, those are wireless. So students have the ability to control those and have individualized workstation. And the key to this entire thing is where I'm walking right now with the crooked camera. Sorry. Is to our server room. Now our server room is both on and off the network. So what that means is these machines are basically dual home. I'm gonna turn around to my ugly mug right now. Dual home means the machines are both on the network and off the network. And through software, we can control that. Meaning when we teach students how to hack, and we're gonna teach students how to hack, what we learned from the FBI and a myriad of other businesses that we have in our advisory board is in order to really teach students how to learn and do things, you need to teach them how to hack. And here's the reason why. You need to know how the vulnerabilities of the network are in order to be able to protect from people to coming in. So what you've seen in this lab is the 30 or 28 computers that are actually here can be off the network, hacking into that server room that's completely off the web. You only have access to that. So we set up a virtual world. And we set up a port that is open. We play a game their senior year, and we're getting to that point where some of our students are getting to seniors. We're gonna play a little game called Capture the Flag. We're gonna hide a file somewhere on that system, and we're gonna make a vulnerability on that system. Half the class will be in the classroom, hacking into the server room. The other half is gonna be protecting the network and finding out what port is open, doing packet tracing, doing a myriad of other things to find different things. We'll find that out. And students will be able to protect and see where vulnerabilities are on the network. Then halfway through the semester, they're going to flop. And the other students will set up a new capture the flag, open up a new port. Students will be learning how to hack. Other students will be learning how to protect. The only way to be able to do that is actually a live environment. So we want students to actually break stuff here. So that's part of the problem of learning how to go through and do it is getting your hands dirty. I can tell you, there are very few universities that are doing what we're doing right here. It's live, it's teaching you how to do it, and students are having a grand old time doing it. So I want you to break the systems here. Don't worry, we'll fix them. And talking about fixing them, we hire what I affectionately call as scholar practitioners in this division. Every faculty member that works for us works in the field or has worked on the field. Dr. Dodds, who runs this program, spent 15 years at Microsoft on the security side. He runs and leads the program. Dr. Waters, at a myriad of time in IT. He's around doing the data analytics and the deep dive in learning programming. And how to bring in data and using things like R for technologies, using Tableau to go out and bring that data up. We teach students actually how to do it. We want you to break it. We want you to go in and figure it out. And we give access to the systems to go through. Now that's the exciting part of cybersecurity and data analytics. On the business side of the house, we teach basically a very basic level of that as well, because you need to know how those things function. So last year we started an Excel class. The Excel class is affectionately called Excel class on steroids, where you do pivot tables and you learn how to do everything in here. It's a course that actually counts for a foreign language requirement here because you're learning programming and coding. In the international business side, you'll learn that. And we kind of force you to take a foreign language and learn the foreign language. We want you to be employable. So if you can speak a foreign language in international business, it helps with your employment. So that's the general overview of the business school. I really want to leave this open to any kind of questions that you have specifically. That's the general onus. Dr. DePaula, can you think of anything that I missed? I think I covered the basic. Kelly, can you think of anything that I missed for it?
Would you be able to go into more specific internships?
Sure. Internships is a good question. That's a great one to go. So as I mentioned, just last year, we made a change in the business division. Sport management had already had this. We mandated 2 internships. So internships at some universities, they make you take it outside the school, meaning you have to take them. In the School of Business here at Neumann University, those are counted towards your 122 credits. So you're going to take 2 courses that are internships. And we have a faculty member called Kayla Mezzi, who does all of the internships for us throughout the entire thing. They'll help you find them. So I'll give you an example. For sport management, we had a student who desperately wanted to go work for the Mets. Her father was a huge Mets fan. Well, Mets fan. Whether you're a Mets fan or not, that's fine. We didn't really have a contact with Mets, but we had contacts with Phillies. So we picked up the phone and called it Phillies. We got us the contact to the Mets. We had the conversation with the Mets, and she did a summer internships in New York for the New York Mets. Her father was a huge fan. She wanted to be able to do that, so we took the time to be able to do it. There's a myriad of approaches for internships. We have a faculty member, and your first year and your freshman year, you're going to be talking to someone in your INT course about internships, and we bring the Career Center in. You'll work with a program called Handshake, and you'll start taking a look at internships right at your freshman year. We generally suggest you take them during your junior year and senior year, because that's where you're going to get those employment. And employers have told us, look, we want someone with a little bit of experience, a little bit of hands-on experience in the classroom, but that doesn't mean you can't take an internship prior. Our record for internships here at Neumann University is 6. We had a student who decided to take additional 6 internships, which is fine. You have some freedom with elective courses. They chose to do 6 internships and work with Caleb to place in different places. I hope that helps. Kelly, I think that gives a general overview, but we'll help you find them. If you have a company you want to go to work for, if you don't know what you want to do, we have a series of internships that are posted all the time. One quick question, I saw study abroad programs for the School of Business. Absolutely. In the international business program, we're actually going to force you to go through and do that. We really want you to go through and do that. But there's a study abroad program that Jen Minster works out of our Career Center, and we work with a myriad of different places to go. Kelly, you want to talk anything more about study abroad programs?
Yeah, so we have quite a few places that we currently have gone, but very similar to those internships. If there's somewhere that you want to go, we will reach out to contacts and see if we can get you there and build it into your academic program, whether it is business or if it's a core class. We will do everything that we can to try to get you to those places. Yeah. I see that Katie has a question about cybersecurity internships.
Sure. That's a great question, Katie, because we started cybersecurity last year. So we have our students doing it. So really, we only have sophomores going the program. We haven't had a need yet for internships in cybersecurity. On our opening night, we brought in 23 IT companies for an event to show them the lab. And we have a myriad of companies like Wirecard, who does all the credit card transactions and verified credit cards are doing well. They're looking for interns. So we have a small company in Philadelphia that does hacking for penetration software, and they're looking for people to help do those different things. Vanguard was one of the ones that we had with us here. SAP was one of the ones that we had, but we haven't had anybody to the point that they need an internship yet. We do have companies that are willing to take on interns. And frankly, one of the biggest places we have is internal. We do security checks all the time at the university, and we do internships at the university and our IT folks here at our system. And we have an internship that we're working on internally here to help us with our cybersecurity lab. So you'll have an internship here to actually go through and get your hands dirty, help setting up this lab, because we're there. Our first group was 17 students that took into this program when we did advertise for it. So I wish I could tell you, here are the specific companies. We're not there yet. We started the program last year, and we don't have juniors or seniors that I can say, here's the company. So I'm sorry if I'm being vague. We have around 23 companies that are interested in doing it. We don't have anybody ready yet to do an internship. Katie, I hope that answered your question.
While we are waiting for other questions, Eric, could you, like, if I was to go become, just say, a cybersecurity major or anything in the business world, and I'm struggling, how would I be able to get help?
Okay, that's great. It's a great question. For help in the labs, we actually designated, I talked to Dr. Power our first semester, we booked this lab. It was so packed that I forgot to give lab time. So we didn't really need it to begin with. So I said, okay, this is so lab, and everybody's so excited to be in this. During March Madness, which unfortunately didn't happen this year, the students in sport management were in this class turning all the TVs to all the games, which was fun because they wanted to learn how to do it so they could watch the games. I'm like, fine, I'm not teaching you. You learn how to set up the system. They had a blast with doing that. But for cybersecurity and getting help, we set up lab time specifically here. That's one of the interns that we're going to have with experience to go in and help with helping students understand the basic. Dr. Dodds and Dr. Waters actually schedule times to get help with those individuals, because you can't really go to a tutoring center for that. That's not something you'll be able to do. So we gave lab time every single day. There's about an hour a day in between classes in different periods of time that you can come in and basically have the lab to yourself with a faculty member doing office hours or not office hours and lab time to help you get through that. Like, how do I hack in here? How do I find this in? What's the dark web? Why should I stay away from it? How do you go about doing it there? Those are individuals that are going to go through and do that for you. So we give you an hour during that time to get it. Our tutoring center is online for all of our general courses, but in the tech side, you need to specifically, because you're not going to have an availability in your home to do hacking. If you do, great, but do it safely, don't hack. You do it here. But yeah, we give that space and we give that time. Nick, you gave a question about Dr. Lanzillo, who are the professors for the sport business program 4+1. Okay, so on the 4+1 master's degree, everyone that we have works in the sport field. So those are all part-time faculty members. We've had people from the Flyers, we've had people from the Phillies, we've had people from the Philadelphia Union. Those are the people, when they're teaching sport marketing, those are the professionals that work. Plus, we go and visit all of those. Dr. Lanzillo's class goes to the Phillies, she goes to the Union, she has been at the 76ers, she's been at many different places where I actually go, but those professors are all working in the field, all in the master's degree for the +1 master's side. Those are all people who are actually live in the field. The other professor we have full-time here is Professor Caleb Mezzi. He's worked in the field for sport business, sport management, sport marketing for a long period of time. He does an awful lot, and his load, again, is primarily teaching some of those intro courses of sport management and getting internships. So those are the two main professors we have. A vast majority of our faculty, well, a vast majority of classes will be taught by those two full-time faculty. When you get a specific niche, we actually have someone who does it in the field. So for example, in our accounting, forensics accounting, we have a professor who works, an adjunct professor who's been teaching here for years. He actually works for the FBI. He comes in and teaches on Wednesday nights. He's the Wednesday night FBI guy, and he redacts the names of the individuals, but he talks about live cases. He takes away the cases that he's working on, takes away the name, takes away it, changes a little few things of it, but it's a live case that you're working on. So in the sport business area, when you're talking about live marketing, you're actually going through and seeing it with the people that are actually doing it right now today. So I hope that helps that question to you, Nick. We're a big fan of getting your hands dirty. I want you to break stuff. I really do. I want you to learn how it's going to work here. I want you to break one of these computers. Dr. DePaulo's not really happy about that, but we can fix it. I want you to break a computer so we can go through and see what did you do wrong and then teach you how to fix it. I think that's the best way to learn. Have it in a way of going through and actually figuring out how to do it. And our professors are here to help you. Class size is another issue that people actually talk about in the School of Business. What's the class size? So some of you may be thinking about that. In our intro level courses, some of our courses are a little bit larger. I mean, not 100, we don't do that ever. But the largest class size you'll see is between 30 to 35 students in your intro to marketing class. As you move along the ways of getting into your major, it's smaller in the sense that there are less students that are focused on, there's a couple sections, so you'll get 10 to 15 in those. We've run sections with as low as 8 students to come in and go through and do it to get you out because of sequence and time. And the other thing that we need to talk about as athletes, some of you may be athletes, Kelly mentioned it before, the School of Business is really good about that. I know we're Division III schools, we've got some great sport programs and we want you to be part of those. So I actually talked to Chuck, who is our director, Chuck Sachs, who deals with everything on the sports side, and I talk to him every single year in the sense, what's your schedule look like? What's the practice schedule? So I don't offer every section that it conflicts during a practice schedule. So if you're a hockey player, ice time is all over the place. We know that we can't offer courses on a Tuesday, Thursday, 2:40 to 4:10 because hockey players can't take it. So if they need it as a major, that's part of the things that we do for data analytics here. I literally go in the database and I pull all the students out of the database, find out what major they are, what sports they're taking, how to go about doing it, what do they need. So I make sure I offer courses in a time frame that they can take it. So you don't have to conflict. All the professors know that there are external activities here that we want you to be involved in. So when Kelly has her sports team out, we know that any business major is not going to be negatively affected about it, and all our faculty members work.
Yeah, and to add to that, coming from the coaching side, all of us coaches are flexible, just like the professors are. We are Division III, so academics comes first. You are here to get your degree. You are here to learn, and this sports is an enjoyable thing on top of that. So that is just something that you have to communicate with your coach and your professors. Same with practice and game times, and make sure that there's that open door with everybody.
So how are we doing out there? Are we doing questions? Are we doing all right? I don't see any thumbs up or screaming people or with videos. No other questions out there?
I don't see any other questions coming up at the moment. I'm going to attempt to share my screen.
Okay.
To give everybody our info. So bear with me. I'm not as technology savvy as Eric is.
I'm just a geek. Look, I'm going to give you while she does that, I'm going to give you my last little spiel. I don't want to tell you that I don't care that you want to come to Neumann. I do. I think we have I love what I do. I get to have students every single day to move on with their lives. I have 4 kids myself, so I have a junior in high school who has been going through this experience as well. And I just say, ask the questions. What's the best fit for you? And that's what we hear at Neumann. We want it to be a good fit for you. So whether you choose Neumann or not, I really wish you the best. But for me, as a parent myself, when I'm asking other people, how am I going to get that personal connection? What is your differentiating factor? And why should I choose you? So in an interview process, why should you choose Neumann? Look, it's a personalized attention. I know at many other schools, you're not going to get to know the dean. Unfortunately, you're going to get to know this bald guy. I care about I have 382 students in the program. I know many of them by name. A lot of them are stopping in the office just to say hi. I want to make sure that I connect with them over the break. I literally on my business card give my personal cell phone number. It's not Neumann's phone number, it's mine. I get students that text me and FaceTime me all the time. Just talked to 2 of them last night just to check in on how they were doing. I think that's the value add that you have at a small school. You have professors who are here to make sure they're successful, and you can't hide. I'm sorry, if you're looking to a place to hide, you're not gonna be able to hide from me. I walk around campus, my office is right next door to my baby, the lab, and I'm constantly in this place. So I want people who are here and who are willing to ask questions because I want to help them get a job. That's what I would expect as a parent and as a student. Sport business, what are good tools to bring with you in the classroom? Computers, books, it's a great question. If you have a computer, that's wonderful. You can bring it in. You don't have to. We have technology in all of our classrooms, as you saw in this classroom. You will be in this classroom, so you'll have that. If you have a computer, I would talk to your professor about bringing books in the classroom. Many of our professors are not a big fan of you lugging books all around campus. You're an adult, do the reading on your own. They're not going to be page 32 on the book, let's go through it. And that's the professor that I want. And I want the book to teach the class. I want the professor to teach the class. That's why I talk about scholar practitioners. So Nick, I don't see many students walking around with textbooks going over things. Most of the time in the business school, it's live program. In accounting, sometimes you have to bring a couple materials, but generally those are posted online. We post everything through our system here at Blackboard and our learning management system, so you'll have access to go through and do it. If you have a computer, great. If you don't, it's not going to stop you from doing the learning, and we have access to technology on campus. But there's all your questions. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going anywhere. So you have my information that's on there for an email. I'll give you my cell phone number if you have an interest in doing it. I'm going to post that in chat.
And say, Eric, can you see my screen with our
I can.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm going to give you my cell phone number right in here in chat. You can contact me anytime with it. So this is the Neumann University cell phone number, and right underneath it I'm going to post my personal one. Because we're off campus, everything's being directed. I wanted to come in today to see it, so that is that. Personal cell, I'm marking down as well. Again, while you come to these things and you don't think of a question to ask, or a parent might think of a question to ask, don't hesitate. Those are the two things that I have on there. So the first one, the 267 number, is my Neumann cell phone, and my personal cell phone is down below. It's on my business card. I do give it to all students. If parents want to call me at 3 o'clock in the morning, I can't promise I'm going to pick up. The good news is my hair still will not be out of place at 3 in the morning, but I'm happy to get back to you when I can. If you have questions or you have a concern and you need help with making a decision, just let me know. I'm happy to help. And anywhere you choose to go, I really wish you the best. I do hope to see you on campus in the fall. I hope that we're back on campus in the fall. I want to see people running around and then go through. Teddy asked a question about investing in a laptop, what is recommended. So our IT department has a list of resources that you have that you can take a look at there. We're kind of technology agnostic. You can use a Mac. It depends. You can use a Dell. You can use a Chromebook. Most thing is on the web via the cloud. You'll have access to our networks here. So I'm not a person. I don't own stock in any one of them. So I'm not going to give you one to go through. I have a Dell, if that helps you. But it's just what your personal preference. We can work around it. There isn't going to be anything that you have that we haven't seen before. And if you do, great. We love the challenge. We have students with iPads. We have students with Chromebooks. We have students with a myriad of different devices. All of it will work within our networks. And if it can't, that's why we're a technology school. We'll figure it out.
Absolutely. I will leave this up for a little bit, but if people have questions that keep coming up, ask them. Or if you want to contact either one of us separately, feel free to do that as well. And we'll leave that open for a little bit.
That's great. If you don't have any other questions, you can feel free to sign off, save that contact information, and holler if you need anything else on here. Does the school sell laptops itself? Ooh, that's a really good question. Kelly, do you know? I don't know that. I know the school doesn't. I don't know that the bookstore does. I've never gone and seen it in the bookstore. I don't know the answer to that, but I'll ask Kelly. Do you mind if you take a look, a little research on that and see with IT, and we can get back to you on that, Nick?
The bookstore, I believe, does not sell laptops.
Yeah.
It's something that you have to bring in yourself.
But that's not a problem for day one, Nick. What I would suggest is you come in, and if you're in, and I think, Nick, you said sport management is a major, I would sit there and talk to Dr. Lanzillo or email her and ask her specifically on those things, and we could take a look at it. But again, I've never had a student walk in with the technology we haven't been able to work with. In fact, many of our students, because of smartphones, are utilizing their smartphones to access stuff because it'll utilize it as well. But students do walk around on campus with a Chromebook or a computer because they can log in from anywhere on campus. So I definitely suggest that you have a conversation with your specific program director, because they'll be able to point you something. Like if it's a data analytics, cybersecurity, our faculty will be able to tell you, here are the specs that you should generally utilize for the minimum requirements that you would need to access some of the software, or what's Tableau run on, that sort of stuff. I would talk to those faculty members. But you can certainly say to me, hey, send me an email. Hey, I'm looking to buy a specific laptop, and I'll point you in the direction of the faculty member that can give you, here are the specs and the software they're doing. Any other questions? Katie, Austin, Joe, Tracy, Teddy, anything else? Alex, Emma? Nothing? I covered it all.
You usually do. You're good
I
with
have
all
fun.
your information.
If you can't tell, I love my job. I love it here. I love
Yeah.
I had no problem driving to set the lab up and meet with people virtually. I wish I could see you all in person in the lab. We always get the wow factor. When people walk up and see this lab, they're like, holy cow, because you can go to anything. Other institutions do not what we have. I've had plenty of dean counterparts who come in and said, I want this. I'm like, no, I'm not telling you how to build it. It's a nice little niche for us. I'm happy that you asked some good questions. I hope you got all your answers. If you have any concerns later down the line and when campus opens back up and you want to visit, I know we can schedule that. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to come back in and show you another tour if you need to. Joe, thank you.
Yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions, feel free to log out of this meeting. Dr. Wellington and I will hang on for a little bit until everybody's out and make sure that there's no extra questions.
Yeah, I'm going to be here for about an hour. I got to shut down the hub now. Thanks, Emma.
And everybody enjoy your weekend.
Please do. Be safe out there.
Yes.
Thanks, Alex. And Kelly, as always, thank you for being such a good part of this.
Absolutely. Honestly, it's easy working with you. You love the department, so you just keep on chatting.
See, I thought admissions, everybody would go, oh, who has to work with Wellington? And they got to take the short straw.
No, I always volunteer.
Thanks, Austin. Joe, a little more questions. Dick, any other questions? Doesn't look like it.
I don't think so.
All right, great, Joe. Hey, thanks. You take care as well. Thanks for coming today. Nick, great questions, by the way. You rocked. I loved it. That's awesome.
I know that Nick was signed on twice, maybe on 2 different devices. So
That may have been 2 different devices or one parent. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Nick can sign on 40 different devices. Happy to answer 40 different questions.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, Eric,
okay.
I think we're good.
All right. I'm going to go shut down the lab. Nick, thanks. Kelly, as always, great to see your face.
Yeah, you too.
And we'll catch you around.
Even your lanyard too.
Oh, yeah, sure, whatever. You knew I was all right.
I knew you were.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, sorry, I just got done. I was trying to hurry up so I could talk to you real quick.
Yeah, no problem. I'm here. What do you got?
So, all right. Oh, sorry about the background.
I love the background.
Disney trip.
Hey, that's fabulous.
Yeah, that's my teacher and a friend, and I was using it for our baseball group chat one day.
That's great. No, I wanted to come in and give you the background of the lab. All right, so what do you got? What questions do you have for me, Nick?
So I know Linzilla is big into internships and getting experience and everything. So I know I would like to start as a freshman personally, just because that's kind of the route I wanted to go, was to start it and everything, get going at it. How would that be with my classes and everything? Because I do want to play baseball this spring.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can do an internship your freshman year. We have had students do this. The challenge you have was making sure, so in baseball, you're talking about a spring session. So your challenge with that is working with a faculty member to design. Now, the good news is you have Dr. Lanzillo and you have Caleb Mezzi there. And we've worked really well with our baseball coaches in the past. We just get the schedule to work with where you are with baseball and make sure we're not going to do it. Then we try to find an internship that aligns with what you want to do and is willing to understand that you have so many things. So internship, you have to cover 150 hours where you're going to work. Those 150 hours can be anywhere during the semester, so we can work with you. And internships don't always work during the semester. For example, we have people who are doing summer internships, but they won't take the internship class until the fall. they'll get their hours done, because companies don't function over a semester. They don't do a September or two. Their hours work differently. So for example, in a tax season, right now tax season for the federal government said July 15th is now. So we have interns doing virtualized and working with people, and that goes past the semester. So what'll happen is you'll be in the class, do the coursework, and you can take the internship class after or during, and then get an incomplete until you get the hours done. So we're really flexible with that. So if you want to do it your freshman year, great. If you wanted to break the record of 6, great. I always challenge students. You want to do 6 internships? You want to go for 7? That's fine. Those courses will count, but you want to have a strategic plan on that, because you only have like 18 credit hours of what we essentially call free credit hours. Those are your electives that you can go and pick. So obviously that student took all 6 courses as their free. And that's why I say that's the record, because if you're taking regular courses, you have 18 you can play with. That student made the choice to make all 18 credit hours internships. And we said, fine, no problem. You don't have to do that. You don't. Yeah. Of course, those will count. So if you wanted to go that route, that's why I think 6 is going to be the record, because it's tough to do the 7th, because then I got to try to substitute it, which I would do if it's your senior year and this is the place you're going to get your job. Like we've had students who actually landed a job and I waived the internship. I'm not going to make you take an internship if you have a job. So all I require is a letter from that employer saying we're going to do, you get a letter from them saying we're hiring Nick full time. He's going to be working for the Phillies and full time in this department starting when he graduates. Done. That actually happened with someone who got a job with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm like, why am I going to make you take an internship when you already landed the job? So you would take another course instead of that, and I would to move around. That's why you need to have that conversation continually with your advisor. So it's not a problem, but once you get on campus, and if you choose Neumann, your freshman year, right in your INT 100, your sport management, your INT 100 course is going to be taught by either Dr. Lanzillo, me, probably not me, but Dr. Lanzillo, Carol Fortunato, who's in our division, and it's just a quick conversation. Look, I want to take an internship next semester while I'm in baseball. No problem. Let's try to find a place, and Caleb will help find a place.
Okay, yeah, because I know my dad works in Glassboro area.
Yeah.
One of the guys that works for him, Harold Carmichael's his uncle.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so Carmichael's really big with the Eagles still.
Absolutely.
So he's been talking to my dad for the past couple of years. It's like when I'm ready, like to get into college and everything, I want to get an internship with the Eagles.
Yeah.
He's one of my recommendations and everything to be able to get an internship there.
That's the strength of Neumann. So when people come to Neumann for sport management, I always say, look, if you want to work in the Philadelphia market, we have connections. Like, I'm not going to tell you one from the Mets. That was an odd one that we picked up the phone and called someone and said, got that. We can do that, but we don't have the ins that we do at all of those other locations. I mean, we've landed people with the Miami Dolphins. We just had somebody post on they were working at the Super Bowl and they got.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so they work. We have those examples. Someone got landed with the Pittsburgh Pirates. We do have connections with a lot of places, but it's Philadelphia, our market, that I literally, if you went to the website, there's a student on there that I literally picked up the phone to the Philadelphia Union and that day got them an internship.
Oh, wow.
That was an odd one because I picked up the phone and called, hey, we're looking for somebody. I'm like, are you kidding? I'm sending the student right down to my office and drove to the Philadelphia Union, which is 13 minutes down the road. I mean, I could see the Union Stadium right from my office. And they literally, I've got a lot of contacts for the Union. I still play soccer as an old man occasionally, the old man group. But I have a lot of contacts with the Union because I've coached for years. And we have those connections with Philadelphia Eagles. We have a lot of people who work for the Eagles. It's fun, Nick, because when I go to an Eagles game, I go try to get to a game where students are working once a semester. So I'll go to an Eagles game, I'll go to a Phillies game, and I bring the kids, but I always text the students and they're like, I'm coming in, I want to see where you're working. Are you working tonight? And I contact the professors to say who's working, who's on tonight. And I try to find them on there and I'll text them and I find them. And Dick works for the Eagles anytime I'm down there. He usually because he's working full-time game time and he works in the situation room at the Eagles, which is a fun room to be. So they kind of manage her, hey, there's a toilet clogged on aisle 4. Their food service is backing up over here. And he sends people, so he has to manage the entire thing. So he doesn't get to watch the games. He's always depressed about that, but he's there all the time. So I text him, come on down, see the kids. He'll pop up. I'll give him a hug. How's it going? those are the kind of things that I want to do. So if it's the Phillies or if it's 76ers or you want to work with one of those organizations, you mentioned the Eagles, we have connections. It's just a matter of how and when we fit it around your baseball schedule.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I know. Like I have a friend that does the that actually tapes like the games and everything, works the cameras and all. I have my dad's boss actually is friends with like Trout and stuff and sits with him during all the Eagles games and everything front row.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can always spot him out too. He's always wearing a neon green jacket and stuff.
Yeah.
So he was actually.
You can always find me on campus. I'm always wearing the orange. That's how everybody describes me. The bald guy wearing the brown stuff. There's only.
That's funny. But yeah, I just want to do like a face-to-face connection because I have met you before at one of the Neumann days. Lenzillo told me.
You look familiar.
Yeah. So I actually got my deposit in a couple months ago and everything. And
You're good.
I got everything. Yeah, I'm done pretty much.
When you come on campus, we'll meet again. Again, stop in the office. If you know Andrew, he comes to my office. You can talk. I've had Andrew before. He knows where I am. So he comes in the office anytime. You can look me up and come on. I suggest the students. My door's always open. So my support staff doesn't like it too much because students just walk in all the time, and she wants appointments. I'm like, nope, that's not me. If a student walk in. So I have students in there all the time, just checking in. And usually during the NFL season, they come in on Monday morning, they lost again. I'm like, hey, no, shut up. You don't stop abusing me. The Browns always lose. But it's a neat conversation to go by, and I check in. So if you're on the baseball team, I try to make one game for every single student. I'll pop out to say, hey, a home game. Sneak out of the office and work. But cheering on students and seeing what's going on with. Yeah, that's it, Nick. You've got the nutshell here. This is what we're about. It sounds like a good plan and attack. Just annoy your advisors. And when I say annoy, that's what they're there for. Come in the office hours, email them. Lanzillo and Caleb are fantastic. They have students in their office all the time. We have a little lounge out here. Students sit outside all the time. We just installed the TV because they had a request for students that wanted to watch CNN or do something or see a sports game. And I'm like, all right, let's put a TV out in the lounge. They come down and hang out. And they're usually yelling my name at something, and it's fun. It's a good place to.
It seems like it, especially from like what Andrew's told me. Like everyone seems to have fun. Like I sat in on 2 of Lenzillo's classes before, and I still keep contact with her and stuff. We're gonna have a Zoom meeting and some point this week, I believe she said. So, but I know they have. Yeah, she is. She's
insane with students. She is always with them. I don't have to touch the sport management program because between her and Caleb, every student's contacted, every student knows what's going on. And that major fills every single semester. We all 25 freshmen every single time. And it's great. I don't want more than that because I want to get people jobs. I don't want 100 sport management majors and freshmen. That's for us. If we keep it to 25 to 30 every year, got 120 to 130 in the program, I can get 30 students a year a job.
Yeah, I know. Like I talked to Marissa DeMeglio. Her and Andrew and stuff, just talking to them a lot, and I mean, everyone seems to love it. I've come in contact with some of the other seniors and everything, but not too close. Like I'm closer to Andrew because I mean, I've worked out with baseball with him and stuff before. So
yeah, Andrew's great. He's great. Got some good students to come off with and follow through. And then Nick, later on the line, become that junior and senior, you have those looking to you for advice and moving on. We love it. No, it's great. We love it. Our student connections, the best selling point for me is not me. I mean, people don't come to school because of the dean. They come to school because of the environment. No one wants to be around a bald Browns fan, let's be honest. People want to be around a place they feel comfortable with, feeling a comfortable environment. That's what I love about this place. It's a comfortable environment.
Yeah, it is.
University, you can walk up and have a conversation with the dean. It doesn't happen. Neumann, the strategic advantage and the mission of RISE, it really puts us out there to have a personal connection with individuals to make sure that they're going through. And I love, it's a small school, there's no pressure for me. I don't want 3,000 students. I really want 25 to 30 in every major, and then I'm done.
Yeah. No, having that more one-on-one contact is like, that was a big selling point for me because like I was looking at like, it was between Neumann and Temple. Neumann was my 1, Temple was my 2 and stuff. And, you know, Temple's business program is almost next to impossible to get into. And
Yeah, it's tough. The Fox School of Business is tough, but remember, they have thousands of students, and that's fine. They do. I'm not going to say they don't do a good job. They do, but it's a different thing when you go to the School of Business at Neumann. Again, I got 60 people on my advisory boards with the companies of the same thing the Temple has. I mean, I have those connections. The difference between a Temple and a Neumann is it's small, individualized classes, personal contact, and that's what it is. So
yeah, and that's what I wanted. Like when I met Linzilla and talked to her, it was just like just talking to her and stuff. And like everything she knows and everything, she's so confident in what she says. And just it was having that one-on-one contact and everything, and seeing how her classes were ran. Like that was the selling point for me. That was like where like I know where I'm going, and then like walking around with Andrew showed me the whole campus and stuff, walking in everywhere. I met a lot of people through baseball team, through the sports management, all kinds of different stuff, and like that was definitely a selling point.
Well, you've been to the baseball field. It's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I played on it actually. I did a tournament last year.
No way.
Yeah, I was in the MSI tournament.
Yeah, that field is a beautiful field.
It is.
I've coached baseball for years, and I want to take my little league team and bring them up, and the coach has always been kind. But I'll do it because of snow days, and now obviously because of Corona we can't bring them up. But college students love working with 11-year-old boys. So, and the boys go, "Oh my gosh, watch how this kid can pitch," or "How do you play that?" And the college students love working with those young kids. So the college, I just let them go, and the second basemen go with the second basemen. Shortstops go with the shortstops. The pitchers go with the pitchers. The catchers go with the catchers. And those college students take those kids, show them all little tricks they have for speed, and you should see the kids drool. Their faces are like, "Oh my God, this college athlete is showing me how to do this, showing me the tricks," and they love it. And the students love it because they get to help out an 11-year-old kid who just wants to play baseball.
Yeah, me and my dad run our local little league together. My dad's the president, and I'm the equipment manager, but I do everything with him. So like me and him are always like putting all together the teams, doing everything. It's just like this year's definitely been sad because he just took over, and then the whole thing, this season's like on a string right now. So
yeah, we're hoping we're in Babe Ruth, so we're hoping because Babe Ruth hasn't canceled anything yet. Our team made the semifinals at States 2 years ago, so they're a good group of boys. They're close. Like we lost the semifinals 7-6. It was heartbreaking.
Wow.
Wanted to be in the state championship game. I'm like, guys, there are hundreds of teams. There's only 4 teams in the semifinals. There's hundreds of teams that are sitting at home right now. You're in the top 4 of the state. What? Seriously? I understand you're upset. I would be upset too. Look at the accomplishment that you made. They want to be on TV. They want to go and do the World Series thing. And I'm like, yeah, that's tough. There's only one team, guys. And we're in Babe Ruth, not Little League. So you're not going to do that.
Yeah, it's a little different there. I know, like, I have a bunch of friends from Millville and stuff. Some of the kids play on my travel team and some play from high school, and they went last year all the way.
Yeah. So much fun.
Yeah. But,
all right. Need me.
So thank you. I appreciate it. I'll definitely stay in touch.
Anytime, Nick. You got my cell phone number. You got Lynn's stuff. Let us know if you have anything. And I know Kelly's more than willing to answer any questions you have in future down the line. But it sounds like you're set and ready to go, my friend.
Yeah, I'm ready. So thank you, guys. Have a good day.
All right, Nick. We'll hopefully see you on campus in fall.
Yep, definitely will.
Great.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks.
Thank you, too.
Thanks, Kelly.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.